Let me tell you about a night that I don't necessarily love to talk about, but I think it's important to talk about. So, my daughter was 3 weeks old, and she'd been crying for what felt like hours. My wife was asleep, finally, after days of just running on nothing, and I had promised that I could handle it. I'd sworn I had this. I did not have it. I was pacing in the hallway, bouncing her the way that the book said, shushing the way the video showed, and nothing was working. That crying just kept going. And somewhere in the fog of desperation and exhaustion and helplessness, something shifted in me. My jaw clenched. My grip tightened. A heat rose up from somewhere deep, and I had a thought. Just a flash, just a fraction of a second. That terrified me. I didn't act on it. I put her down in her crib. I walked out of the room and I stood in the hallway with my hands just shaking. But here's what I thought in that moment. I thought, I am a monster. Normal fathers don't feel this. Something is deeply, fundamentally wrong with me. And I was wrong about that. And if you've ever felt something similar, and if you've ever scared yourself with what rose up in you when that crying wouldn't stop, I need you to hear what I wish someone had told me that night. You're not a monster. You're a mammal. And what happened in your body has a name, has a mechanism, and most importantly, it has a solution. So here's what's actually happening when you lose it. Your brain has a region called the amygdala, if you've ever heard of that. It is old. It's older than language, older than reason, older than anything that makes us human. And its job is very simple. Detect threats and respond fast. It does not think, it doesn't weigh options, it just reacts. When your baby cries, that sound hits your amygdala like an alarm. It's not a design flaw, it is a feature. Evolution built babies to produce a sound that adults cannot ignore. A cry that just burrows its way into your central nervous system and demands response. If our ancestors could tune out that sound, babies would have died. So the ones who survived were the ones whose parents could not look away. The problem is that your amygdala cannot tell the difference between a crying baby and an actual threat. It just knows that something is wrong, that the noise won't stop, and you need to act now. So it does what it's designed to do. It floods your system with stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes, your muscles tense. That rational part of your brain, that prefrontal cortex right here, the part that knows this is just a baby who needs soothing, goes offline. This is called amygdala hijack. And it's not a character flaw, it is simply neurochemistry. Now, add everything else, right? You're not just hearing a crying baby. You're hearing a crying baby on 4 hours of broken sleep. After weeks of running on fumes, while carrying the stress of a changed relationship, a shifted identity, financial pressure, the weight of suddenly being responsible for a human life, your nervous system is already running hot. The cry didn't create the rage. It just ignited fuel that was already laid. This is why new dads are particularly vulnerable to these moments. It's not because new dads are bad people. It's because new dads are chronically depleted people operating in an environment specifically designed to trigger their threat response. The rage is not a sign of your character. It's a sign of your circumstances. Okay? But here's where it gets important. Understanding why it happens does not make it okay to act on it. Explanation is not permission. Your baby did not choose to be born. She didn't choose to have needs that she can't meet herself. She didn't choose to communicate the only way that her body knows how. The crying is not manipulation. It isn't defiance. Okay? It is the only language that she has. So, What do you do with this? How do you deal with a nervous system that keeps hijacking you at the worst possible moments? You learn to interrupt the hijack. You build a circuit breaker between the trigger and the response. Okay? The first piece of it is recognition. You have to learn what your body feels like in the moments before you lose it. Not during, before. Because once the hijack is complete, the rational brain is already offline, right? You cannot think your way out of it. You have to catch it on the way up. For me, I've learned that it starts in my jaw. It's tightness and clenching. For other dads, it's in their shoulders, it's in their chest, it's in their hands. There's a physical signature that precedes the explosion. Your job is to learn yours. It takes practice. Not in the moment, again, not in the moment. You can't practice when you're already flooded. You practice in calm moments, scanning your body, noticing where you hold your tension. You build awareness when the stakes are low so that it's available when the stakes are high. The second piece is permission. You have to give yourself permission to walk away. Not forever, not abandonment, just 60 seconds. This was one of the hardest parts for me. I had a story in my head that real fathers don't leave. That walking out of the room was failure, weakness, proof that I couldn't handle it. So I would stay in the room, escalating, white knuckling my way through, getting more and more dangerous. Here's what I learned. Your baby can cry safely in a crib for 60 seconds. She cannot be safely held by a father who's lost control of his nervous system. Walking away isn't abandonment. It's protection. It's the most responsible thing you can do when you feel yourself crossing the line. Put the baby down somewhere safe, leave the room, close the door, take 60 seconds. Okay? The third piece is reset. Those 60 seconds aren't just a timeout. They're an intervention. You're not just waiting for the feeling to pass. You are actively down-regulating your nervous system. Okay? Now, the fastest way in is through your breath. When your amygdala takes over, your breathing goes shallow and fast. You can reverse the signal. Use your body to take control of your brain again. Breathe in for 4 counts. Hold it for 4 counts. Breathe out for 6. The extended exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the brake pedal that slows everything down. You can put your hand on the wall, feel the temperature of it. Name 5 things that you can see. You're pulling your brain back into the present moment, back into the rational mind, back into the part of you that knows this is a baby who needs help, not a threat that needs fighting. Okay? 60 seconds. That's often all it takes. The hijack is fast, but it's not built to last. If you can interrupt it, you can come back down. Okay? The fourth piece is return. This is the part that not many people talk about. You walk away, you breathe, you reset, and then you go back. You go back because your baby needs you, but also because you need to teach yourself something. You need to learn that you can feel the rage, leave the room, bring yourself down, and return as a regulated father. Every time that you complete that cycle, you are building a new pathway. You are proving to yourself that the feeling doesn't have to control you. The goal isn't to never feel anger. You're going to feel it. Your nervous system is going to keep doing its job, keep sounding the alarm, keep flooding you with chemicals designed to make you act. The goal is to feel it and choose anyway. To be hijacked and find your way back. That's not weakness. That's the whole game. Okay? Here's what I want you to understand. The fathers who hurt their children are not the ones who feel the rage and are scared by it. They're the ones who feel it and don't have the tools to do anything else. They're the ones who never learned that they could walk away. They're the ones who were so ashamed of the feeling that they never told anyone, never asked for help, never built that circuit breaker. The fact that your anger scares you is actually a good sign. It means you're paying attention. It means that you recognize that something precious is at stake. It means you're not going to be the father who looks back with regret. You're going to be the father who learned to feel it and stay safe anyway. Okay? One more thing. If you're in this every night, if the rage is constant, if you can't bring yourself down, if you're scared you're going to do something you can't take back, that's not a 60-second reset problem. That is a get help now situation. And there's no shame in that. Some loads are simply too heavy to carry alone. A therapist, a doctor, a crisis line, these aren't signs of failure. They're tools, just like the breathing technique is a tool. You use what works, okay? The number for the National Parent Helpline is 1-855-427-2736. They are available for any parent who's struggling. No judgment, just help. You don't have to do this alone. The anger does not make you a bad father. Staying in the room when you've lost control, that's what causes damage. But walking away, resetting, coming back, that's what builds safety. That's what builds trust. That is what your child will never remember consciously, but will carry in her body forever. The knowledge that her father could be overwhelmed and still keep her safe. You are not broken. You're wired for protection. You just need to learn how to protect your baby from the part of your brain that can't tell the difference between a cry and a threat. You can do this 60 seconds at a time. I'll see you in the next one.